using it in pain creams. All that was before they had big pharma. We was
Mm-hmm.
using all that stuff. So
All right.
we probably was just growing it like it wasn't illegal, but it been illegal since the 1920s.
Thank you.
Johnston, we have you back, and then after you ask your question, he answer. If y'all can remember to drop down, because we have people waiting in the back. All right. So Johnston, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining
Thank,
us.
thank y'all. Appreciate y'all for having me on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, you're coming in
Oh,
clear.
oh, okay.
Definitely.
Yes, sir. Okay, man. I was just going to, Rod, with this, I'm suggesting to all our people with this new technology, it's not really new, but with this like chat GPT and all this stuff, all us so-called spiritual people and tribal people should be using this to our benefit right now by posing the right questions to it, not using it as a form of entertainment, actually using it as a tool to help us get everything we need back right now. I was able to through Chat GPT, or it's not. There's other forms where I'm paying $20 a month, and it gives you, it lets you use all of the different AI generated whatever's. I was able to have them pay for my mortgage. I mean, it's in other words, this tool is being laid on our lap right now, and if we utilize it the right way, we can have it working for us to make the contracts that are needed. You know what I mean? And get things passed through that we need, because I'm already doing it at a small level um, when it comes to the things that are of necessity. So, like I'm just saying is, what are your thoughts on the technology right now and how we're using it? Because it's great. If we use it the right way, we should be able to get back everything that we say we want. You know, we want our land, we want all this back. If we utilize this technology, because they then gave it to us. I mean, not gave it to us, but it's here for us to use if we use it the right way. Um, we just need to start posing these right questions to the platforms and having it start creating contracts and this and that, the other things. I was able to utilize it in a number of fashions, and I'm seeing how it is beneficial. It's beneficial for you to get into business. It's beneficial for minorities to get grant money. Grant money you ain't got to pay back, just simply by having the tool create the grant proposals that you need for whatever whatever you're trying to go and do, because they got so much money set aside for us, but we're not going to grab it because we don't have the money, or we don't think we have the money to pay for the person, to the grant writer. Well, now you do. You have the AI generated technology. If you use it the right way, we can start pulling some strings and start getting things back that's ours, and you can be at home all day, just left and right, left and you ain't got to go to work, left and right, all the things we need. Just have that damn chat GPT, whatever you want to call it, working all overtime for all the things we requesting, and then before you know it, you'll have a pamphlet, you'll have a whole fly, a whole list of uh or in not applications, but contracts already written that you maybe just have to modify. This is I think it is the time now. All this stuff is here for us to grab. We just got to go grab it. What do you think about the technology, Rod?
Well, you gotta remember, we coming from the age of believing, going into the age of knowing. We going from an artificially induced iron age into a deliberately worked on golden age that was being worked on by the ancestors to come out of that iron age. It was a series of conjure spells over a period of time that cut off the man to go through the darkness to recover the memories and the age of knowing. There's a lot of ways to use Chat GPT. You have people now that's using it to pull up the true history of the paper genocided clans in the Americas, and they telling them exactly who we are. And they recorded it and they putting it on TikTok. They putting it on Instagram. That's called public notice in the oral tradition. As long as it's the time stamped archivable format, it's the principle. soon as we catch on, everybody's not computer savvy, but the ones that are can use it to their advantage. Because the ones who are savvy, like yourself, on how to use ChatGPT can have a different problem that you pose in the ChatGPT to teach the people how to use the ChatGPT to its best ability, right? Because there's nobody already teaching it. That means it's a need. You got a desire. The need and the desire points to a purpose. The requirement of the masses and the benefit, they'll tell you if there's an honorable purpose. If it can benefit more than it's going to hurt, and if it ain't going to hurt nothing, that's called a righteous pursuit when you have no casualties.
Yeah, that was a question he had. Papa Draco, what's up?
How you doing, Dots? Big Mama.
Hey,
Peace.
First Adobe Sergeant. What's going on, man? Yeah, I had a quick question. It's a little sidebar question, but I wanted to ask how you feel about I talked about this with somebody else, a few other people, but I wanted to get your opinion on how you feel about the into Africa theory.
I'm not familiar with the end to Africa theory. You have to give me like some background on who's discussing this. But I do know that we populated Africa. I know that.
See, that's what that's what I'm saying. Okay. One more question, and I'm gonna get out the way. I'm gonna change it up. When I look at whenever I try to look, Angola was the first slave owner on American soil. How is that possible?
Listen,
Or is that even true?
all of those what we call dirty Moors. They came over with slaves. They came from Europe with slaves. They came from what was known at the time Al Maghrib. Today, you know, there's Tunis, Morocco, and Libya. And they were, Tipper Tip is the most prolific slave trader ever. And he looked like one of us, but he ain't us. He one of the dirty Moors.
Yeah.
And they lived, and they was also doing the same thing. Remember, we not Africans direct, but Africans and us got the same enemy that look like us that ain't us. That was infiltrating the royal houses of Africa. Right? And that's how they fall to colonialism. Like if you take Hannibal in Carthage, he fell because of a senator that chose sides with Rome in his last campaign to finally crush Rome once and for all. So some Negro in Carthage decided that he was going to leave Hannibal high and dry and don't send him the resources for the final shutdown of Rome. Muhammad Ahmed from the Sudan, the Al Mahdi, undefeated against the English. He defeated all of the generals of the day for 5 years, from 1880 to 1885. They couldn't whoop it. They couldn't beat his army. They sent General Gordon down there, and General Gordon said he was such an honorable man, he wanted to convert him to Christianity. And he met General Gordon, and he said General Gordon was such an honorable man, he wanted to convert him to Islam. Right? Anyway, his betrayal came from some Negroes that had infiltrated his camp. This is the same story when we get over here talking about Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, Clarence 13X, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. The niggas infiltrating are not the same as us, but by appearance, they can pass as being one of us. They needed somebody that don't look like us, that they can blame it all on while they continue to conquer and disassociate us from our homeland. Once you disassociated from your appointed heritable land on the earth, then the conqueror has a time limit of conquest before he can claim it as his own. But if it's one surviving heir that know who he is and protest, they can't claim it now. They have to give it all back. Right. This is the chess game we've been playing for 6,000 years, and the name of the game is God versus the devil.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what gave us our religious constructs as underlying tools of warfare. Because you can't control nobody for a prolonged period of time with chains. Eventually, the chains is going to keep making them stronger and stronger by generation till pretty soon the chains won't hold them. But the psychological chain can be weaved through your spiritual perception to make you turn on the people you love the most in the name of the God that you say you believe in without even knowing if he real. You know your mama real. You know for them first 9 months of your development, you was in your mama's stomach. Some of us actually remember being in there. Right? So we know mama real. But this mystery God they keep trying to convince us to believe in, we don't know that shit real. Mama real. When my stomach is hurting and my nature of hunger kicks in and tell me to cry out loud so mama can hear you. And I go to wah, 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 and then mama pop that titty in my mouth and I go right? Comfort and soothing to the soul. Filling you with the Holy Spirit, and they just calling it colostrum now. And once you feel that Holy Spirit, you feel the bliss of being who you truly are for the first time, an enlightened being at the breast of the mother. That's why they wanted us all on bottles. We don't know that mystery God real, but we know mama real. We know when she couldn't breastfeed us no more because we kept biting her teeth. And she started making us eat them collard greens and cornbread. And they don't taste the same if you don't eat them with your fingers. Because you're tapping into a cultural energy exchange between the food and the people. We always ate with the fingers, the collard, I don't care what kind of greens it is, but when we ate greens and cornbread, we ate them with the fingers. Soul food. It ain't soul food if you got to eat it with a fork.
Damn. Damn.
If we don't know our history, we can't understand that everything we used to do had a significance to it. Because the eating with the fingers part is to stimulate certain energies in the body, like the way you hold the food when you're eating with your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then you're using it for sustenance. We learned that from mama. When mama first started feeding the baby before they was giving us bottles, she was feeding us with her fingers. Put it in her mouth, chew it up, take it out, and stuff it in our mouth. Because they ain't had no baby food. Wasn't no Gerbers or no Heinz. We ain't had none of that. But mama knew how to feed us and make us healthy, little fat baby running around, chunky.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because mama is verified as being the sustainer of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
This is an undisputed reality of life. Even if you don't like your mama and she raised you, she's still the undisputed provider of the substance of your life by giving you proper sustenance. Sometimes they had to be mean in order to develop a character in you that's going to help you survive in the world around you. And being nice not going to cut it.
Mm-hmm. Facts. Appreciate that, man.
And talk about a little bit of the mental illness, right? Because you'll have skin folk, right?
Mm-hmm.
People, let's say, I'm gonna just put this in quotes and say Pan Africans or of that ilk, and they'll look and they'll say, you know, so wait, I can't believe it. You listening to your grandmother? You listen? You don't know where you from? You gonna listen to your grandmother? Are you serious? That's psychotic. That's like psychosis. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, because last time I checked, especially for these Pan Africans, right? Like I've said this before, and if you think about African culture, their history, their genealogy, their lineage, passed down orally. It's not written in a book, and that's respected. Then they have the audacity to turn around and say to a skin folk, "How dare you listen to your grandmother? She's not educated. She didn't go to school." That's mental illness.
Speak on it, Dots. It is the truth, and how dare them do that? It puzzles me how you could put anybody else in front of yourself.
But see, that's the military way. So if I was in the military and people was passing their history orally, and I needed to cut them off from their history, I have to figure out how to villainize the oral history and replace it with the victor's history. So in the strategy room, I would say we have to do some Machiavellian stuff and give them papers that say they know something more than the ones given the oral history. Because we're going to give them a PhD in Native American history, and we're not going to never teach them that they the Native American we talking about. So when you come and you tell them what your mama said, their response is to rely on academia in order to shame you into following and listening to oral history. That way, you will be more likely to say, well, I got to go get a book to prove it. Right? Now they can control how much information you can assimilate by having to find the books with the information in it. So they will use academia as the direct war front to oral traditions by making you rely on written tradition.
It's like just sitting back watching it happen. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's military strategy.
Yes.
They had to cut us off from the oral history. Our big mamas told us who we was. That's what my mama said. We ain't no damn Africans. We African. She said, I don't know, we wasn't in slavery, but I felt like I was enslaved on that plantation I grew up on. It was the family farm. And they had to work their ass off on the family farm. And to people who don't want to do the work, that's fucking slave labor. On the family farm. Because they paying you in food, clothing, and shelter. They not paying you in dollar bills. So you assume that you ain't getting paid. But they paying the older people in dollars. They got families to take care of to make it more expedient for the exchange of goods and services to support a family. That's a family decision. But when you a teenager and you learning your responsibility and your etiquette, you gonna take your ass down to Big Mama house down there in Louisiana. She gonna work your tongue out your mouth. And I know because I've been told that before. And I said, send me.
It's the truth what you're saying. Thought you had something you wanted to play where the Africans are even admitting. They admit that we not Africans. They're admitting, nope, you're not African. The
only ones that come from Africa with that slave narrative are graduates of university. Regular Africa, and they got ousted in 1492. We got invaded in 1492. Do the math. They came over here. They look like us. We fought them for 300 years before we start seeing pale faces. Because we don't start seeing pale faces till 1619. It's on the record. So what happened to all the Negroes we were fighting before the pale face came? They still here fighting us from the inside, telling us kill whitey.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty deep, man. So what about the whole Christopher Columbus thing? Is that story fake?
It's behind it. You were never supposed to be able to find the unseen hand, the hidden hand, the black hand of that Moorish man dangling from under that white KKK robe, fucking Bixby ass nigga. The biggest trick they ever played on us was to tell us we with you, brother. We believed them until we was deceived for their deception. Go back and listen to Sammy Davis Jr. talking about it was niggas that killed Malcolm X, and that's why he was surrounded himself by Italian mafiosos, because they was trying to kill his ass too. And it ain't no secret. He went to Frank Sinatra for help at the advice of Dean Martin. Became part of the Rat Pack, so he could have mob protection from them black nigga Jews.
I heard about that. Yeah, that's facts.
He was telling me back then, not just him. Malcolm says a distinct difference between the house Negro and the field Negro. We didn't know what he was talking about till Steve Coakley told us that when Malcolm discovered him, he called them the Council of Six, because he said as far as Malcolm could see from where he was looking at. Right? This is when Steve Coakley is unveiling the Black Boule. The Black Boule Society sheep dip members from the Divine Nine sororities and fraternities. Right? As they get to the Talented Tenth, this is where he said W.E.B. Du Bois came in. At the Talented Tenth is where they select the ones that they gonna put in front of you as an example to show you that they can control you without telling you they control it. Basic mathematics.
OTK, if you have a question, you can jump in real quick. You have to give me 1 minute. I have to 1 second.
Nah, you doing good, man. Peace to the chief, man. What's going on with you, man? You know what I mean? 7-4 to the world, blow. Copper Drake, what's happening, baby boy? Chief Ninja, Sister Freedom, what's happening?
OTK, what's good, man?
You already know, man. I missed the first time my brother was up here, man. I got caught up. I said, man, I'm not gonna miss this one, man. You know, every time I get a chance, I got to deal with him at least for 30 minutes to an hour. You know, I know it's time limited. You know. But
yeah, you got to get out the way.
How you doing, OG?
You on mute, right?
Oh, my bad. I'm over here talking my ass off. I forgot I had put it on mute. I was over here coughing. Look, I'm good, man. I'm doing pretty smooth, man.
But hope all is well with you and the family, man. You already know, to the world.
For sure.
OTK, you heard about the boycott, right?
With the African stores and stuff.
Yeah, and it's, you know, they really arguing with people and stuff too, like easy. Oh my goodness,
that part. And this is in Ghana, right? So this goes to your point too, Rod, right? Like in terms of how this is told. That it's not in the slave trade is not in Ghanaian books, is not part of their curriculum, right? If you know, one of my best friend is Ghanaian, one of my best friends are Ghanaian, and I used to always ask her and her mother, like, did y'all, like the mom, like, did you learn about the slave trade? Was there anybody in your family? And she would say no. She was like, I don't have anyone. I don't recall anybody. No, I don't recall my grandmother's great grandmother ever talking about any of our kin that was sold abroad, right? But here in this video, you heard out the mouths themselves.
Absolutely, I did, and a lot of my African associates say the same thing Dots just said. And they Guinea and Nigeria, they have no knowledge, and then they have the nerve to say they come over here and they felt like that how they felt about us until they actually came over here and hear about what we go through over here. You know what I'm saying? They never even knew our history. They go through with the undone man. They don't know anything. They don't know anything, and they don't have no knowledge of the slave trade. It's like that's a tourist part, right? What Dots just showed.
If it's a tourist site, that means that it's financial gain for the country to use it as a recreational Disney World.
That's crazy.
And that was in the 1700s. And I'm only saying that, I don't want anybody to get me wrong, or saying like, that white Europeans and not have a hand in it, right? But understanding that the slave trade wouldn't have happened, it wouldn't have been as, I don't want to say successful, but the amount of bodies that's bought and sold allegedly, right? That shit wouldn't have happened if Africans weren't involved in the trade themselves. And one of the biggest slave markets in Ghana, if you do your DNA test, they always say your behind usually come from Ghana or Nigeria. Go figure, right? Mm-hmm. Was the biggest in the 1700s, no less. 1700s. And the slave trade is supposed to have started in the 1400s. So we got 300 years. Markets, Europeans weren't involved.
I told you.
And it was the tribes within that was doing the slave trading.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like he said it wasn't the white man. That's what I thought he was saying.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out where the brother was going. I'm glad you played that, Dots. Because slave trading was going on within them.
Remember I said the cracker wasn't doing no slave trading over here. They didn't even come until 1619. So the 1700s bringing about the fall of slavery around the world, because now you're starting to have the people talking about the beginnings of human rights discussions among the nations of the era. Here's the states sending delegations to go figure out what this human trafficking is doing, right? But at the same time, we still fighting this 500-year protracted struggle against the same people that came in as Huguenots under the French and conquistadors under the Spanish, and they came in as gentry under the English, but they look like us, but they ain't us.
That right there, what you say, Dots, is very, very deep.
So you saying it was black people that came and did all this?
Yeah.
What happened to them?
They still over there?
No, wait a minute. I'm talking about you saying they came to America, right?
Oh yeah, we still fighting those son bitches. They the ones still pushing the old outdated agendas, talking about a revolution and ain't finna do shit.
Just like you, Robert Lee, still pushing that Pan-African, that back to Africa shit. You
he can't dispute that. We're not doing that. All right, listen, Copper, my love, Copper, I'm gonna drop you down because
I fall back. I got you. Don't fear.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Come on in.
My bad, sis.
No, you have it. You can do it.
That was a fire video you showed. Definitely
you.
was fire. And can you share my screen real quick?
Okay, you put in a private chat
on this, and let's see if we can build on this here real quick. You know, me and him can say.
It's up, OTK. It's hard to see, but it's up.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Give it a minute. It's starting to clear up.
Yeah, we can see it.
I can't see it clear enough to read it though.
I'm gonna blow it up. Hold on, give me a second.
While he's doing that, can you guys please remember to hit the like button? We appreciate each and every one of you. We see y'all in the building. We appreciate you guys. And after OTK asks his question, we're going to start shutting it down and realize it's 11:30. We've been partying. It's a Wednesday. No, what's today? Wednesday, y'all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ryan gonna have to do a part 3. He too juicy. They sound right? But I'm just saying. And that video. That did something.
Because it's like, forget what a book say, forget what a European say, forget what an American say. Let's hear what Africans say.
Yes. Just like they said, the calling them black. That's the lowest thing for them, to be called black. They said that they're immigrants first, second they're with their tribal, third they're African, and then they're black. And they don't get the black until they start dealing with us over here. You ever hear that before, Rod? They call themselves immigrants.
We can see it now, OTK, Landino. We see it clear.
Okay, I'm gonna go back on mute.
Where'd he go? Oh, shoot. Okay, OTK, we can see it clearly.
All right. Yeah, so mic check 1 2. I'm good now?
Yes, we hear you.
All right. Bet.
So, right,
hey, a lot of people, a lot of people don't know about these Ladinos, brother. What you know about the Ladinos? What you know about them Ladinos, man?
Right, that precursor to the
Ladinos, yeah.
So
these Sephardic Jews, these French Huguenots, these Moristos,
you got it.
That was coming over here, mixing in with the indigenous people and didn't want to leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Didn't want to leave. These are your people that's met. They got their whole different own language and everything. So, y'all
read the article to the people while you on
in the botanic.
Look, read the article to the people, man. You got a good voice. We just
I bet. Ladino, the westernized Central American person of the predominantly mixed Spanish and indigenous descent. In that sense, Ladino is synonymous with mestizo. The word Ladino in Spanish, meaning Latin. And the Ladinos of Central America are not to be confused with those Sephardic Jews who speak the Ladino language. The term came later to apply to anyone regardless of ancestry who rejected indigenous culture. You hear me? This is the beginning of them saying they not accepting they mixture no more. Ladinos, these are the ones who's bringing these people over here who he was talking about too. Now let's not forget that Ladinos were accepted by neither the various Mayan peoples nor by the Spanish, whose language and manner or dress they adopted and who considered them superior to the Mayan but inferior to themselves. The Maya considered them traitors. Ladinos are readily recognized by their exclusive use of the Spanish language rather than indigenous languages and by their decided preference for the Western dress rather than their own traditions. And this is what it leads into when you bring up Ladino. it leads into the Sephardi's, who are the Sephardic Jews. All right, so Sephardi is a people. You know what I'm talking about? So a member or descent of the Jews who lived in Spain and Portugal, the Roman Empire. All right, so y'all know who these people are.
Ain't that what I said?
Dirty ones.
That's why you be
Under
calling when they see that, right? I see why now.
Under the persecution and mass.
OTK, you dropped off.
Ain't that what I've been saying the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
France,
Yep.
So
Holland, England, Italy, and the Balkans. I don't want to go in because, you know, they also Ashkenazis too, but it's a little difference in them. But they also Ashkenazi. But y'all just go into Britannica, man. Y'all pull this up. It'll take y'all deep because they got their own language too. Remember the Romance language? That was Latin. And look what else it say. A very Aramaic form of Castilian Spanish mixed somewhat with Hebrew, as well as Aramaic, Arabic, Turkish, Greek, French, Bulgarian, and Italian. Damn, that really sounds like the Hebrew language to me, mixed with a bunch of shit, but I just leave that alone. You know what I mean? I'll leave that alone for somebody else. But yeah, y'all go look this up, man. But, well, you know what I mean? That's the Spanish Inquisition.
Over here dying laughing because it's telling me everything I said. Here you come with some receipts.
Right.
hey, when that article spoke about
man.
Mayans,
I did a bill on them, man. Whenever you get time, man, you know what I mean. Come through. You know, you've been to the Sister Sharice channel too. I'm sharing this on my side now, but you know, come through, man, over there on Open the Knowledge channel, man, and we can do a bill anytime. You know what I'm talking about, man. You always welcome, for real.
For sure,
I appreciate you for helping me these doors down.
hey,
Word.
OTK, in that article you just read, when they was talking about the Mayans and the indigenous people, were they referring to black people?
Copper colored people. These will be your first ones that was being called copper colored people because they will be first contact. They talking about the Caribbean, the top half of the Brazilians, Central America. It's not an article. It's from Britannica.
Well, whatever you read,
that's
only
not an article.
Whatever you read,
that's not an article, brother.
Whatever you read only mentioned the Mayan, and they called them the indigenous people, and they said these Latinos would be a mixture of the indigenous people and whoever else he was talking that shit was talking about. Right?
All right.
So that's why I'm asking you, are you saying the Mayans and the indigenous people in this, whatever it is that you read, are these black people? Today
they call Afro-Mexicans.
Hey, hold on.
They're descendants. Hold on. Let me get clarity.
I already got what you're saying. Before I answer that question real quick, do you think the Sephardic Jews and the Moristos and the Huguenots that was coming, do you think they're black?
Wait, no, I don't think they're black. No.
So where the color come from?
What I'm saying is
no. Just do regular logic. So where the color comes from in the Caribbean? If you say the conquistadors are white, then where did the blackness come from, or the darkness? I don't even like to use black. Where did the darkness come from? Where did the other color complexions come from? If you're saying that everybody came over here was white at this time, so where did that come from?
I haven't said anything. I asked you a question.
And I asked you a question before I answer that to let you see how dumb that question is. Somebody had to been dark skinned.
It sounds like you scared to answer the question.
Listen, somebody has to be dark skinned. So which one are you saying that's dark skinned?
I never said or asked was anybody dark skinned.
You just
I
asked
just
me was the
asked you.
Mayans black in that
Okay,
article.
okay. When I mean black, I mean like you and me, black people, African Americans.
I'm not black, bro. I'm American Indian. Quit playing with me. Put your own self in that old mixed up category, bro.
Okay,
Now,
I'm talking about
okay.
I'm talking about
go
niggas
ahead, bro.
like you and me.
Let me point a couple things out. So the article is talking about a mixed group of people called Latinos that was occupying the specific geography, and it was encountering Mayans and indigenous people.
No, the Latinos was a mix.
Mixture between
Yes.
the Spanish invaders and the Mayan people that was there.
And the Mayans would be the indigenous people, correct?
Right. Now, have you ever seen somebody from Belize?
Yes.
Okay. You know they indigenous to Belize, they not imports.
I mean, I
Did
know
you know?
which tribes and in the
Right. But
area that
you,
they
you see
consider the
how a
descendants of the
person,
Mayans.
right. So this is southern Mexico.
No, it's
This
more
is
Central America,
right, but
like
it's right at the
Yucatan.
bottom tip of Mexico.
Yeah, it's not, but it's not like all of that was never considered just all
Okay. Now,
Mexico.
right now, but it's its own country. Belize is its own country. But I use that because the people from Belize has always been there. Those dark skinned people that's been there for thousands of years still are the people of Belize. Some of them have since mixed and they give you a lighter hue strain of them from settlers coming to the island or to the country. Now, when you move into Mexico, the Afro Mexican is the indigenous people of Mexico. They look like old Mississippians, but they in Mexico. These are the ones they making reference to as Mayans, Incas, Olmecs, and Aztecs, which is all the same people, but they divided up the different parts of the culture by time frame and renamed the same people many different things to confuse the researcher as to these being different groups of people instead of a continuation of the ongoing tribes that have always been here. Those original Mayans indigenous that they speak of have roots that trace all the way into the Americas to the Mississippi Basin. But they also got roots that trace all the way down through South America to the Amazon basin because that was the Fertile Crescent. And those people were the indigenous people that was paper genocided by the rewriting of the historical narrative and the literal whitewashing of history by giving us melanated people but painted up as being from European Caucasian stock to cover up the actual people from the area. So when you ask if they are making reference to the Mayans as being melanated like us from us, they was the same people as us. So if
You know
we
the
black,
Afro Mexicans and those Afro people that you talking about, they don't say that.
You
they was
talking about
already there. They didn't come from slavery or none of that.
you
They don't
talking
say
about,
that.
man?
What they
You know
Modern times
Brazil got over 200 million black people that descend from African slaves, right? You do know that, right?
what 2 million?
200 million
What 200 million? Damn, y'all just
In
came up with a
Brazil.
new number.
In
My
Brazil,
God. Who brought them there?
you know,
Or did
majority
they
of the
go there to
slaves.
work?
You
Were
know,
they
majority
indentured
of the
servants
slaves.
or was they slaves?
Wait a
No,
On
minute.
transatlantic trade.
Okay, y'all, listen.
Yeah, because I don't want y'all to go arguing. But listen, did he just say something without? Not you, OTK. I'm just saying. I maybe I was hearing things. Did he say 200 million? What?
Listen, can I clarify what I was saying?
Yeah, that's why I just want to make sure I heard you right.
Majority of the slaves that was taken from Africa was taken to South America. So today, South America, Brazil has a population of almost 200 million African descent people. Like here in America, it's almost 45 million of us.
But we're
Brazil
not
got a way
African.
larger amount of black people that exist there today due to
Okay.
the slave trade.
Let me just say this, and then I'm not going to say anything else. First of all, let me make sure that I understand what you're saying. You are
Understand?
calling these people African Americans, right? Which means that you're assuming that they are descendants of Africa, right?
Yes.
So you know that we're not over here, right?
I mean, I hear y'all say that.
Just let me answer this one question for me. Who was feeding them? Where was they using the bathroom? And who was giving them waters, anything in these so-called slave boats? Who was doing that?
That would be the
I mean, because remember, we're led to believe they went over there, they got them. I don't know how they went over there and got them like it's portrayed, because they would have got sick as themselves. The capturers would have got sick themselves.
Yeah. See, nobody looks at the mortality rate, sister.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me just say this. That's with no fighting or anything. So how did they get the chains on them, first of all? And then lead all these people, these few couple undone people, and went over into this whole black land and got all these black people, chained them up with no fighting or nothing. They just willingly went. And they got on this boat. Who fed them? Where they used the bathroom? And who was giving them water? Because I know what near one of them undone people going down in that boat feeding them funky people. Now I'm just being very, very honest, because they was pooping, peeing, spitting up, bed sores, everything on themselves. Now you tell me.
Don't forget menstrual cycles.
Yeah, oh yeah, don't forget that. Yeah, how was that happening? Because the smell alone would have suffocated and killed you. If they went over there and got 100 of them, by the time they got here, not even one probably would have been alive. Because remember, it took 90 days to get from here to Africa.
No, it didn't.
It's already documented that it did.
We'll let him pull you into that. Like, just say.
No, I'm just saying.
It wasn't no ships like what we used.
It was about 2 months. It was about 2 months.
All right. So let me ask you this: do you believe, Robert Lee? Do you believe that slave ship that they show us? Do you believe that ship exists?
Like in sardines, like
that's
they use?
No, they got actual, you know what I'm saying, documents of other ships that was used and stuff. Like, I think they used that. Hold up, bro. Hold up. God damn, bro.
Man, listen.
You got to let somebody answer a question. You can't ask me a question and then start interrupting me, asking me another question.
Go ahead, man.
Give me a chance to answer the first question.
Really, you shouldn't even be on the panel, bro.
I don't even.
Wait, hold on, just 1 second. Robert Lee, just 1 second. This is gonna be the OTK. This will be the last. Robert Lee, after you answer that question or what have you, I'm gonna ask you to drop down. All right, Rod is the guest right now.
I'm going to go ahead and drop down. Hey, sister,
hold on.
y'all, enjoy y'all show.
Robert Lee, you're talking. Thank you, darling.
I was trying to say I'm gonna go ahead and drop down so y'all can finish the rest of y'all show, because
I appreciate
OTK, we ain't gonna be able to have a real conversation. So I'll join y'all another time when
Thank you so much.
Here. All right, y'all enjoy y'all show.
I mean, that's because you can't deal with OTK, baby.
I